Blessed be everyone. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to be navigating our way through sudden change using some ritual. But before we do that, hi, I'm Sandra from mysterywitchschool.com, author of Crafting Your Wiccan Path. And if you want to know more about Wicca and witchcraft and how you can bring witchcraft into your life in a way that is more positive, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you don't miss any videos. If you want to know where to start your witchcraft practice because you're a bit overwhelmed by what's out there in information land, I have a free video that's called How to Start Your Witchcraft Practice. The link to that is in the description field below this video. So sudden change can be positive and it can also be perceived as negative. It can be very devastating and unraveling. And whether the change is what we perceive as being really good or what we perceive as being really bad, the ego still doesn't like change. So there's always going to be an element of discomfort in the change. It may be grief, it may be fear, it may be a combination of both. Generally with grief, there is a combination of fear and anger in there. There may even be resentment in there. There's a whole lot of unpleasant emotions that may be going on underneath the surface, particularly if the sudden change has been absolutely devastating. So the first thing we want to do is acknowledge any parts of ourselves that are uncomfortable with the change. And if you're experiencing grief in any way, then you want to do, what I advise you do is a little ceremony in regards to releasing your grief. If the sudden change has come about through the loss of a loved one, I do have another video about how you can use ritual to help you with the grieving process of the loss of a loved one. So I'll put the link to that in the description field below this video. If the sudden change, and I think for a lot of people, definitely over the last 18 months or so, the sudden change has often come with job losses and changes in income. So that's of course going to bring up fear. It's going to bring up anxiety, anger and resentment. And so and grief, of course, too, because even if it's a job you didn't particularly like, you're still going to find that there's going to be some grieving involved. I received a redundancy back in 2017, and even though a huge part of me wanted a redundancy because I'd already started a business, when the redundancy came, I wasn't really confidently ready for the business to take over, and it certainly wasn't anywhere near financially able to take over completely from my income. So when the redundancy came, I had this really strange reaction where I was really excited because I was like, oh, finally I can get out of here, I don't have to be doing this anymore, because I really didn't like working in an office. Okay, it just wasn't something I wanted to do or enjoy doing, but I found that because of the security or the perceived security of the income, it was very hard to move out of that. So when the opportunity landed, I had a mixed reaction. Part of me was terrified because I thought, oh, now how am I going to get the business to, bring me back the income that I was earning with the job, and then also the excitement about, oh yes, now I'm free, now I'm free, now I'm free. So you may find that there's a bit of a combination there for you where there may be some excitement, because when you, particularly with a job, it does actually open up new opportunities for you. But there's also that fear of how am I going to survive in the meantime. So I found I had to go through about a week of grief, and I did a lot of EFT tapping to work through the grief, because there was, even though it wasn't a job that I liked and I didn't like going, there were actually things about it that I actually did enjoy and that I did like. And so I had to let that go. And doing a ritual to help you let that stuff go is a way of honoring that part of your life. It's a way of honoring what it is that you are letting go of, and that helps you then move forward into how you're going to now deal with this sudden change in a way that can bring more of a positive light to the situation. Change happens. We live in a universe of flux. Nothing stays the same. Everything is vibrating, everything is changing. We have entropy. So things are breaking down all the time. And even when we can't see that things are breaking down, when we look at something over a long period of time, we can see that it has broken down. We're no different, and situations that we find ourselves in are no different. There is no permanence. It doesn't exist. So that's something we have to come to terms with. But doing ritual can just help us through that process of understanding impermanence, in this material world anyway, and how we can navigate through it. So what you'll need is a black candle for the grieving aspect of the rite. You can use sandalwood oil or frankincense oil or any of those oils that are very sacred and can put you into a sacred state, even myrrh oil or combination of those oils. So dressing your candle with an oil for grief is, you're going to want to go from the base of the candle up and out, because you're wanting to release the grief, you're wanting to release. And then when you light that candle, and as you look at the flame of the grief candle, you just want to imagine that that flame is just taking in all of that sadness. All of that fear, all of that anxiety is just going into the flame. Breathe the energy out into the flame very gently. You don't want to blow the flame out. And you can sit with this candle for as long as you want to sit with it. Once you feel that you've put all of that energy into the candle, you can just sit and reflect on what it is that you feel you've lost. You can journal while you're doing this ritual. You may feel that you want to maybe speak about what it is that you've lost. So speak to the candle about what you're feeling, what you've lost, who you've lost. You may even want to get up and dance what you're feeling and what you've lost. Take as much time as you need to take. If it's a particularly devastating loss, you may need to do this ritual, repeat this ritual quite frequently. So allow yourself the time. Even for the job loss that I experienced, that part of me really wanted anyway, I still had to do work for a good 5 to 7 days. And like, I was up at 3 o'clock in the morning because I would wake up and I wouldn't be able to get back to sleep because I had all of this anxiety. So I just got up and started doing some work on it. So I'll just let that candle go now. And when you feel that you're ready to look towards what you're now going to do, what that sudden loss, that change has now opened a door for, because it is a door opening. So it's a door closing, it's also a door opening. There's opportunities in this for you to move in a direction that is the wish of your heart. And even if you don't know how to do it, or what it's going to look like, or how things are going to line up to be able to get you to where your heart wants you to be, just doing this ritual will help those things come to you, because it will be lifting your vibration so that you are then magically resonating at the same frequency as these opportunities. We'll do that ritual now. And for this you'll need an orange candle, and I am using some bergamot oil. You can also mix the bergamot with some orange sweet oil to get that really nice orangey and citrusy energy, because it's very relaxing and soothing and calming, but at the same time it's bright and it opens you up to positivity and new opportunities. So here I have my orange candle. You want to bring the opportunities to you, and you're wanting to bring the positivity to you. So when you're using the oil, draw it into the candle. With these little spell candles, you can just draw it all the way down the candle. When I'm using a larger taper candle, I will often do the drawing into the center like this and then turn the candle the other way around. But with these little candles, I usually just draw them down. It doesn't really matter as long as you're working on drawing the energy to you. Then once it's ready, pop it in the holder and light your candle. And to get the energy going, simply state your intention. Oil of bergamot, orange candle, bright flame. Inspire me with creativity, bring me opportunities, point me in the direction that I can now go. Show me the door that is now opened upon me so that I can walk through this door, follow what is in my heart, and walk towards a prosperous, abundant, loving future. Light my way, show me the way, show me the way. Stare into the flame for a long period of time so that you can get yourself into a relaxed trance state. And then as you are working this ritual, again, you can use your journal, you can speak, or you may find that you are inspired to get up and move and dance. Or maybe you feel inspired to write a song or write some poetry. Whatever you're inspired to do, this inspiration is going to just help you tune yourself in vibrationally to the opportunities. So even if you don't get any ideas during this ritual, the fact that you're using this ritual to open you up to new ideas, to new opportunities, that's the whole point of doing it. So when you're writing in your journal, you may want to focus on maybe some of the things you've wanted to do, but you've never done, because of what has gone before has perhaps stopped you from doing it in some way, prevented you from doing it in some way, held you back in some way. And so now you've got the opportunity to be able to move forward and do what it is that you want to do, or move in a direction of your heart. Don't worry about not knowing how it's going to happen or where it's going to come from. That is where the magic takes over. What you're doing now is just getting into the vibe of hope and opening up to what is possible for you, and knowing that when you do open up to new opportunities, those opportunities do come. You can repeat this ritual as many times as you want to. You might want to do it once a week until things start opening up and you start getting more clarity. And you can snuff the candle out and then relight it again the next day if you're wanting to do it as a daily thing. If you're just wanting to do it as a one-off, allow the candle to burn down. And it's as simple as that. These rituals are simple, they're easy, because it doesn't have to be complex. Magic does not have to be complex to be effective. It's how you resonate with what it is that you're doing and how you resonate with the ritual. That's where the magic is. It's all about resonating, vibration, and tuning in to the field around us. If you want to learn Wicca with me, I have a 12-month course and an awesome community of high vibe witches. It's the Mystery Witch School 101. The link to that is in the description field below this video. If you like the video, hit the like button, share it with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe. I'm Sandra from mysterywitchschool.com. Blessed be.